Going to school in summer morning, it drives all my joy away. Welcome, my dear students, to your English class. Today, we are going to learn the line by line explanation of the poetry written by William Blake. The Schoolboy, written by William Blake. This is the real inscription where the poet, have written the schoolboy, and you can see that the beautiful coloring, the decoration near in the sides, it represents that, it really indicates that the poet is the true lover of nature itself. Let us see the first stanza of the poetry, The Schoolboy. I love to rise in a summer morn when the birds sing on every tree. The distant huntsman winds his horn, and the skylark sings with me. Oh, what a sweet company! This line indicates the real joy of a small child, that he innocently narrates or says or speak out the truth that he loved to get up at early in the morning. The reason is that he want to be in the companionship with nature. He loved to hear the sound of the huntsman. Huntsman means the hunter chasing the prey. And he wanted to sing along with the bird. Which bird is also mentioned? He want to sing along with the skylark. And he calls this as a sweet companionship. So here comes the one markers. Who is the sweet company? Whose sweet company the child enjoy? Child enjoy the sweet company of skylark. He enjoys the singing along with the birds. He enjoys the distant hunts winds his horn. So first stanza of this poem, the poet introduces to the reader the main character, that is the speaker. Who is the speaker? The child himself. Here child narrates his perspective as a small child, and you can see that his innocence is really reflected. He is openly speaking the truth that he loves to rise in summer morning on provided one condition, if it is a holiday, and he enjoys the companionship of nature more than being in the school. He have his own reason to state that why he prefers is the companionship of nature. His reason is that in nature he found lot of freedom, and he believes in the playway method. Who believes? The poet himself. So first stanza speaks about joy of the poet to get up early in a summer morning. Why? The reason is that he wanted to be in with the companionship of nature. In the second stanza, you can hear that but to go to school in summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away under a cruel outturn. Little ones spend the day in sigh and dismay. But same time, the poet feels so sad if he have to go to school, really disappointed to go to school on summer morning. He loves to get up, but thinking about the school, it drives all his joy away. The first reason he states that the teacher is very strict. He will be under the strict supervision of the teacher. The next is what the poet is telling, that the little one means the child, spend the day in sigh and dismay. So one marker question will come. How does the child spend his day in school? Simple. The child spend his day in school in sighing and dismaying. That means he is not at all happy to learn. You cannot tell that he is not happy to learn. He is happy, but he wanted freedom. He enjoys the companionship of nature. Instead of being in a cage or in a four-walled room, he wanted a free education where there is freedom. The poet says that he is a nature lover and he enjoys the companionship of nature. And here you may be thinking that yes, to an extent it is right, whether now in this pandemic situation, I know that you really long to come back to college, but situation is different, right? Really we are longing to. So here the poet is telling that the child in his time, the role of the teacher is become like a facilitator. In olden days, guru or the teacher is considered as the supremest authority. He had highest hold on his children. So he is very strict. So there is no freedom. Now the situation have changed. Now it is child-centered education. Earlier it was teacher-centered education. Now it is more priority or preference to the children. So second stanza in this poem speaks about what the thing to getting up in the summer morning. He is lazy, not lazy. He is scared. He is sad to go and sit in the concrete building. The third stanza. Then at times I drooping sit and spend many as anxious are. Nor in my book can I take delight, nor sit in a learning bars, worn through with a dreary shower. The third stanza says that most of the time in my classroom I am drooping and sitting. Drooping means without energy, tired, without joy, and spend many as anxious are. From 9 to 3, almost 6 hours he is waiting, literally waiting the class to get over. When he hear the morning bell, 9 o'clock bell, he is sad, but at the same time the bell rings at 3 o'clock, the poet is extremely happy because he wanted to get out from the school. So here he is telling that he is anxiously waiting for the last bell, and he is telling, yes, I have from the book. In book also I am not interested to get new knowledge, nor sitting in a learning bars. Learning bar is a German word. It refers to the school itself. School is a place where you get new, which opens a new horizon of learning. But he is telling that I cannot enjoy when I learn new thing also, because he really feels sick in this concrete structure, worn through with dreary stress. Moreover, the teacher's boring lecture, he cannot enjoy it, because basically man needs freedom. Here you can see that poet is comparing three imageries is mentioned: the plant, the bird, the plant and the bird, and the freedom. So here he is telling that, see, the child is so unhappy. He's expressing his tiredness. He's not ready to sit in this four wall, because child is full of energy. Why he has to restrict himself to the four walls of the school? Child keeps control his he controls his anxiety, he controls his pain and agony, and waiting for the last bell. The teacher is unable to understand the feeling of the student, because he or she is very busy in completing the topic. And she is telling, that poet is telling that I cannot enjoy the new learning process. Learning bar refers to the school, refers to a garden where the child can be taught in an interesting way. So actually school is a place where the children must learn in an interesting way. But now, because of the academic pressure and the curriculum, the system has become so boring. So he is telling that neither in school nor in book or in new knowledge, new discoveries, I am not able to take delight. The fourth stanza. Here he is comparing, how can a bird that born for joy sit in a cage and sing, how can a child? When fear annoys but drooping his tender wing and forget his youthful spring. Here the poet is questioning the higher authority, not only the authority, all the adults and the parents. He is comparing himself to a bird. Bird symbolizes freedom. And he is telling a bird which is born for freedom, how he can sit inside the cage and sing a happy song. Do you expect the bird to sing a happy song if it itself is not happy? And when fear annoys but droop his tender wing. And here he is telling that the bird, the wing symbolizes the freedom. What is the purpose of the wings? To spread, to fly, or to soar high. But what is the use if the bird is caged? There is no use of wings over there. So here he is telling the child needs freedom in order to explore, in order to find out new things. If the parents are putting restriction, how can he grow and forget his youthful spring? So he is telling that, and what you expect from this small child, from in his childhood itself he never had happiness, and what is the final outcome, whether he will be happy in his youth? Definitely no. He compares himself to a bird who is born for freedom. Fifth stanza. O father and mother, if buds are nipped and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day by sorrow, care and dismay. The boy complains to the highest authority. The highest authority is father and mother. And he's telling, and he's pleading, we can say that he's pleading, requesting, and in other way we can tell that he's expressing his anger. O father and mother, if buds are nipped and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day. So he's telling that what do you expect from this child? Parents have lot of expectation and they impose all this expectation on the child. And in all these things the child is not happy. He longs to be in the companionship of nature, and how he can have good days. So here the poet is telling father and mother, and he is telling that his childhood are nipped in the bud. Nipped in the bud means for example, if a plant, if a flower, a bud is blooming, and if you are going to nip, if you are going to pluck it from this bud, what happens? When it blooms, the flower will become out of shape. And how can you blame that bud? You cannot blame, because you yourself have nipped it. So here the poet is telling that in his childhood he never had happiness. So what you expect from him? How can he write a happy poetry? Being a poet, he is squatting on that. And if the tender plant are stripped, if it is being stripped, it is being beaten up of their joy in the spring day, how they can write, or how they can produce, or how they can be fruitful? by sorrow and care and dismay. And he's telling that my childhood is full of sadness, and how can I produce a happy song? The boy complains to the higher authority, that is to father and mother, and not only to the father and mother, to the highest educational authority also. If a bud is being nipped, what happens? It cannot bloom. The same way, the present educational system is so insensitive to the needs of the child. Stanza 6. How shall the summer rise in joy, or the summer fruits appear? Or how shall we gather what grief destroy, or bless the mellowing ear when the blast of the wind appears? Here, if care and concern is given to the plant during the budding stage, what happens? The tree will grow properly. Tree will grow properly. But here the child is not getting needed manure, sunlight, and whether it will grow to a full-fledged tree? Definitely no. So here the child inquires his parent as how they can win back the gone sadness. If the plant perishes, dry up due to the pain, sorrow, no fruit will be there in the season of autumn. Same way, he is comparing the life of a child to a tree. If you put a seed, you have to nurture the seed with good manure, with good water, sunlight, and if it is not getting, if any one of this thing is lacking, what happened? That it won't be able to produce, the tree won't be able to produce a good fruit. The same way, mellowing ear means the season to pluck the fruits. So here he is telling that the grief have destroyed during the childhood. The poet never had a sweet memories of the past. So what you expect in his old age to write? This implies that if childhood pleasures and joys are restricted, one has to be very sure that the adult life will be absolutely dry and unproductive. So you may be thinking that, see, in this childhood, only study, nothing else. And on the heart of heart, if the child is not happy, definitely, and parents may tell that now you do study, but after that you can enjoy. Definitely, that is a different question, that's a different concern and different domain too. Understood? Here the childhood is to enjoy. You have to enjoy the innocence, then only you will have sweet memories, and you can cherish and relish the memories of the past. If all of these things stated in 5th stanza happen, that is, the plant is being stripped, if it is not given sufficient air, sunlight, and water. The same way, if the childhood is not happy, what happens? It is indeed stripped of his joy and given sorrow in return. Then how can his parents expect the appearance of fruit in summer? So what is the expectation of the parents may not be able to be fulfilled by the child, because his childhood is sad. Then should, he states, worry that due to their choice he will never be the same. He will be unable to stand the blast of winter when they appear. He is telling that then parents don't expect to have a wonderful blast. If the childhood is full of sadness and sorrow, here we can say that William Blake is against the formal education. Formal education means we are going to college or university and getting qualified. And he is totally against this formal education. He is telling that there has to be certain provisions to be made. The child has to sit morning till 6 evening in the class. It is very tiresome. According to him, it kills the creativity, individuality of the child. So the poet is telling the parents or the higher educational authority must um, when they frame the curriculum must keep all this thing in the point. If the child is spending in sadness, you cannot have a fruitful youth or good future. So he urges the educational authorities and the parents not to do the biggest blunder like this, putting the bird in the cage and forcing it to sing a happy song. And I hope this 5 stanza was clear to you all. Once again, we will do a small recap. That is, the first stanza is about what it is about. It is about the child's happiness to get up early in the morning, and he's telling that he's happy only to get up early in the morning if it is a holiday. If it is a school day, he is not happy. Second stanza says that he is not at all happy if it is a normal school day, because he wanted to be in the companionship of the nature. And he is telling that the reason for his sadness in the school is the teacher, the curriculum. It is so boring and it takes his vitality, vigor and enthusiasm and energy. Indeed, the poet is telling that he wanted to learn, but he wanted a shift or a change in this educational framework. And he is asking the question to the parents, and he is asking the question to the higher authority, educational authority: open your eyes, and comparing himself to a bird put in a cage. The child is born for freedom. He needs freedom. He needs happiness. Instead of being happy, he is being forcibly put in the 4 walls of the school and forced to learn under the strict supervision of a strict teacher. And he is telling that if it is like this, he'll never ever enjoy his childhood, and his childhood memories will never be sweet, and don't expect a good future for the child. So I hope you understood this lesson very thoroughly. There are 5 stanzas. The poetry is written by William Blake, and for you to learn, 1 markers are the 4 and 6 markers. So I'll be sending the PDF. Please do write the notes. Don't be lazy. Please write each main every day. Maybe first main it may take only 10 minutes to write, second main 20 minutes to write, and third main another 20 minutes to write. So please do spend time, and if you have any problem regarding the notes, or you are not understanding any lines or meaning, please text me. I am ready to help you out, and it is joy to reach to you all. So thanks for watching. Have a spirit-filled day. May God bless you all.